Today, we're gonna see if the Kubota OEM oil filter is actually worth the extra money compared to some of the other brands out there. Hey guys, Zach here from Kubota of Lynchburg, and I wanted to do a little bit of a test because I've seen some different reviews and Facebook posts about people spending the extra money on the OEM oil filters versus buying one online on Amazon and Napa or your local auto store. So sure enough, you can buy those at different places. For example, we have the Kubota OEM filter here. Notice the light blue marking and everything. It's actually got the part number to it. So this is the Kubota OEM. Funnily enough, this is the Amazon version. Same color, same kind of markings to it, but this one's actually from Amazon because it's kind of confusing. It actually confused our parts department a little bit. They were like, why did you buy a filter off of Amazon when the box came in? I was like, well, it's for a test. And then I got this standard Napa brand here. So good old gold filter, generic, you can go to anywhere and get one of these. Price-wise, honestly, not that much difference. I wrote it down here. The Napa one cost me, okay, maybe I shouldn't tell you, but as a dealer, it cost me $10.33. They mark it up to $28.59 is what Napa has theirs as a retail. Again, it cost me $10.33, so take that in mind. Retail, buying it off of Amazon, the Amazon one, $11.50, not bad. And the Kubota one is gonna cost you guys at a Kubota dealership right now, $14.90. So we are a total of $3.40 more than the Amazon one. Napa, yeah, I don't know what they're actually going to charge you in store, but hopefully it's not the $28 because that would be insane. But what we're going to do today is we're going to actually cut them in half. We got a bandsaw. We'll show you guys cutting them in half next. We're going to take a look at the insides. We're going to see what's going on, what's the difference. We're going to talk to one of my master techs while we're down there, figure out the difference between these filters. All right, so we just finished cutting the filters, as you guys saw. So I'm gonna go into each filter in a little detail. Honestly, they look very similar in many and most aspects, but each one has a couple little differences that I'll point out. So I'm gonna start with the Kubota one. If you notice on the inside here, we have holes that go around. It allows for a nice flow of oil, kind of striated. That's the first thing our mechanic noticed was how much oil flow is gonna be allowed to process through with the way that Kubota has the holes. You'll see the other two filters don't have that. Of course, you have the paper cartridge on it. I'm gonna actually pull some out, see if I can pull some out. But you've got paper cartridge here, and you can kind of see the dimensions between that, how much spacing is between the paper. That's pretty much standard, pretty normal. Pretty good metal in there, nothing too crazy. Honestly, looks like a filter. Woo, who would have guessed? But nothing else crazy other than it took them a little bit to cut through it. We're gonna go to the Amazon one next because honestly, it's the closest. Same base. The filter is a little bit, the paper here is a little bit thinner. It's not quite as thick, but you have about the same spacing between that. So a little bit less material for the filter to, or the oil to actually absorb into. And if we look, the way that these are, they're not holes, so it does restrict your oil flow. It slows it down a little bit. But other than that, it honestly seems to be a pretty solidly built filter. I'm not supposed to say that, but it honestly seems pretty solidly built. Took about the same time to cut. Also, I wanted to point out both of these have nice round seals for sealing it. Good quality seals in there to it that seem to seal it from leaking around the machine. We're gonna go to the Napa one. Definitely the lowest quality. Physically, it's lighter. This thing shakes around in there. It's a lighter machine. Also, if you notice, you have this whole band right here that's not allowing for any oil flow all the way around through. So you're reducing your oil flow as well as, again, no holes to it. Now this has thicker paper than the Napa, same as the Kubota. If we look at the actual dimension, look at how much spacing there is. I'm gonna pull this one again. I might pull it out. Versus, let's say, the Kubota on it. Is this the Kubota? Yeah. And look at the quality of the paper difference. So the spacing there is what I see as major. So there's some major gaps between this, which means there is way, way, way less filter that is actually filtering material, soaking up the oil and everything to it. So Kubota and Amazon, way better than the Napa. also the oil flow and everything. And when my mechanic cut through them, he said this one basically cut like butter compared to the other ones. And the last thing is the seal on the top is just a standard square flat seal. It's not as high quality, not as good quality material as the other two filters to it. So when you are buying filters, price is important, although as you can tell, some of them are maybe more expensive than they should be, but quality is obviously important. When you're messing with a $3,000 to $20,000 engine by itself. Now these are coming out of a BX series or an RTV, but if you're messing, those are like an $8,000 to $10,000 engine, it is important to get a high quality filter. So you realistically want to go either Kubota or a very high quality one. Like I said, the Amazon one actually surprised me how close it is to the Kubota. The Kubota is still definitely better, has that better oil flow, a little bit better filtration because it is thicker paper to it, even though it's the same spacing between them. So is it worth the extra $3.40 to go with the OEM and keep a good relationship with your dealer and everything like that? Yeah, probably. But if you are gonna go with an aftermarket and off-brand filter, make sure you go with something that's well reviewed, has good quality, because this Napa one, this Wix, is definitely not going to hold up or do your engine justice, because that's kind of pitiful compared to some of the other ones with how much less filtration it's doing. So guys, pay attention when you're changing your filters. This goes to hydraulic filters, fuel filters, anything else. Cheap might be good up front, but it's not good in the long run. So pay attention, keep your services up, and use OEM parts when available.